And welcome to Caesar 3 Media, sponsored by Chronos 3 Protection. And today is going to be a special one because we're here to discuss about our spiritual science once again. And the topic is about energy. But before we get into it, I'll let our special guest introduce herself.
My name is Janelle. I'm a single mother, and I've been studying the martial arts for 33 years since I was 9 years old. So I've been meditating for that long as well. So that's how I came to be spiritual and to apply peace in my life.
Sweet, sweet. Tell us a little bit more about your background other than martial art. Have you been to anywhere? Have you traveled? What is your endeavor?
I have traveled to Italy, but that was for martial art training. So that was beautiful. We got to learn so much from each other and learn about the different culture there. And I've traveled in the US, but I've also traveled to Italy. You're going to have to cut that out because now I'm screwing up. but I have a I was a certified medical assistant, and I was working on my bachelor's in software engineering.
Good,
Um,
good,
yeah.
good. That's great. That's great. You see, even the best part is that even the mistakes and everything makes us look human, makes us feel human. Don't worry about that. The
Mhm.
audience love it, so don't even stress about it. We'll get deep into our topic. And when you talk about the martial art, then you've been doing it, like you said, since you were nine, since you were a kid. What would you say? Are you like a black belt, or what is going on with that?
Yes, I've studied multiple styles. I have two black belts in jujitsu and Kwambap combat, but I have belts in multiple systems: Tung Sudo, Ishinryu, Taekwondo, and various. I've trained with various people, so it's always good to learn different things and take them in, and I take in what works for me and apply.
That's sweet. Do you have any military background?
No, I don't.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, Lady Janelle, welcome to our studio and welcome to our program. Once again, this is a spiritual science platform, and we try to bring the everyday people to share their experience so that the audience could relate to it. It's nothing crazy, nothing special. We just want to share experiences. And maybe you will learn something from me. You will learn something from Lady Janelle. And we're here, and the topic is basically we're going to discuss something about energy. You know, a lot of times people throw the word energy away. People show up, somebody show up in your life, or somebody show up in your space, and we say, nah, this is a bad energy. This person has a bad energy. This has a good energy. How do we, in other words, we're getting right into it.
Okay.
How do we determine whether something is good energy or something is a bad energy?
Well, that's where you have to learn some discernment because once you know yourself, your own energy, you'll learn to pick up. Are you reading someone based off of your unhealed trauma, or are you actually reading their current mood? Because someone's current mood might not reflect who they actually are as a person. A lot of people put on those masks where they seem like they're happy and content, but then behind closed doors, they're angry, miserable, or vice versa, you know. So you really have to know the difference between yourself and
And
how to read other people.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you will define energy in terms of a person's emotion or a person's mood, or if I may ask for the audience out there, is energy have anything to do with plus or minus, bad or good, positive, negative, electrons, protons, or cold and warm? What do you mean by energy? What are we talking about here? Is it just
Okay, so
emotions?
you're speaking of opposites. So that's where balance and yin and yang come from, the
Okay.
duality of energy. So when you had mentioned protons and electrons, you
Science.
have positive energy. The proton is a positive charge, the electron is a negative charge. But you have to have two, they have to be together in order for the atom to generate energy. So there
Okay.
has to be both. You got to know good to know bad, or know bad to know good.
Wow.
So you have to
Wow.
learn and energy, but there's different forms of energy because emotions create an electromagnetic energy, but then you
Correct.
have infrared energy, you have photon energy, you have the other electromagnetic energy, you have electricity in your body. It's a biothermal
Energy.
energy. So there's different forms of energy.
Correct. So you see, the idea is what our audience usually say. I always say that in the spiritual science realm or in the spiritual science world, I ask the question and I throw in the protons and the electrons just to so people will know that we're not talking about scientific protons and electrons.
Right.
We're talking about how you feel around people, the kind of energy that will stress you out, the kind of energy that you feel so happy, the kind of energy, and also where we want to be as human beings. Where do you channel your energy to so that you could be happy? How do you stay balanced? Like you mentioned, balance. Science will call it equilibrium. People don't understand the difference between, finding ways to balance your energy. In this case, anything that we talk about here, it has to be to the beneficial of the person listening to it.
Correct.
Energy. What exactly is this energy that we're referring to?
So the energy that we're referring to has to do with, first, you have to find your own internal energy. How do you feel? How do you project outwardly what's going on internally? Because everybody has a peaceful state.
Yep.
It's a lot of external stimuli. If people don't know how to regulate their emotions or regulate how they're reacting, and so that's why meditation helped me when I was young.
Okay.
So it made me realize what was inside of me, because I could feel what was inside of me. It was easier for me to see externally what people were projecting, and I learned to stay calm and not react, have that self-discipline and the self-control to
Okay.
navigate my own emotions, to clear my head and to
Okay.
navigate, because a lot of people have thoughts that continue to go. So in order to navigate them, you have to focus. And that's what meditation taught me too, was how to focus on one thing. So you bring yourself to focus on one thing, you can clear your mind and
Okay.
regulate and find your, that's where you
Where your
find your
balance is.
balance.
Okay, so you will definitely say meditation
Hmm.
is the biggest way to get to the equilibrium, to get to the balance state.
That's how I figured out how to get to the balance
Will
state,
you
was
say
through
there are
meditation.
other methods to this?
There are other therapies. There are perception based behavioral therapies where it's, if you change your perception, you're going to change your reaction to
Perception as in
something.
the way you think?
The way you think and
Okay.
view the world, the way you view what's happening to you, the way you view how you feel, that perception. So there's other therapies
Okay.
for it
All
to
right.
center
I'm
it.
glad
Yep.
you came to that point. That is where I am when I talk about energies. That is where I am. I'm very obsessed with quantum physics. Those who know me, those who know the new me, knows exactly what I'm talking about in terms of quantum physics. How you think, because the brain is a very, very powerful tool. The brain is a very sophisticated thing that, as human beings, when we understand how we think, it helps us balance our energies. It helps us know how to even deal with stress and anxiety and all the things that make us go off in terms of energy. You touch on perception. Can you help our audience understand? Because everybody want to get to a place where they are comfortable with their various energy, whether it's good
Right.
or bad. They still have to know how to handle it and deal with it. What is exactly what you mean by perception in terms of how it helps us get to that point?
Well, for instance, if you don't know if somebody is having a bad day and you're out at a restaurant and they have their tone changes, their body language changes, and they seem to be giving off some kind of angry or bad energy, what people would call it. When you learn that through perception that they just might be having a bad day and they're not meaning to react that way, that doesn't mean that they're a bad person. So my perception of them as a person doesn't I don't create a judgment based on maybe the reaction that they're giving me in the moment. Like for me, I need to get to know someone for that. But and then as far as emotions, like even your own, you can take, if you think anger is a bad emotion, anger can motivate you. It just tells you what you feel is that you don't prefer or that's unjust or unfair that you define. That's where perception, where you define what's unfair to you, or so. And it's okay to be angry, but then you got to channel that energy, and you can channel. A lot of people do, they're creative, or some people channel it to be physical. So maybe they'll lift weights and they'll gain some muscle or train, or so there's ways to channel, but emotions are there for survival. That's why we have them biologically. So when you understand that, you don't hold on. What it is you don't create a narrative to the emotion that you're feeling in the moment, and you just realize it's okay to feel this in the moment, but you don't keep the narrative going in your head.
Okay. Okay. So basically, the perception and emotions go together.
Yeah.
Would you say they go together?
Yes, they go
So, in
together.
other words, let's say if you're sad about something and emotionally you feel drained, your energy is low. We'll call that low energy because
Yeah.
you're sad. You don't have the drive, you don't have the energy to do what you're supposed to do. So, that would be a low energy. Would that be considered a negative energy?
No, because it again, if you want to talk about positive and negative, yes,
Sad.
it's draining. So low doesn't necessarily mean negative.
Okay.
You are in these states and it's temporary. Just know that it's always temporary.
Wow.
And the way to get
Wow.
through it is to face that. Like you got to go ahead and feel the emotion, but you just don't keep creating a narrative.
That is bad.
Yeah, because you can have an emotional charge to a memory, just like when we have a good or bad experience, we'll have a good or bad emotion attached to the memory. So you can rewire yourself. But yeah, you have to feel it. If you go through something, you have to feel it. You can't ignore it, because then you're going to come back to it. It's going to come back up.
It keeps coming back.
And then, yep.
Yeah. Once again, like I said, some of these things, if you understand it, it helps you know how to navigate your day-to-day life and day-to-day activity. This is the whole point of this podcast, to share the knowledge with the rest of the world, to understand that some of these things is there, it's gonna happen, it's unavoidable, but it's all about how you deal with it and how you handle it, and even how you use it to your advantage. It could be understanding that, okay, I'm in my low state right now, but then I understand why I'm here. It's just temporary, like you said.
Yeah.
And I am going to overcome with time. I know I got this. Perception.
Yeah.
You're not defeated in the head already. You said, I got this. So it's
Correct.
about how you handle the state or how you are feeling at that moment.
Hmm.
So where do we put in, once again, I'm coming to the positive and negative. Where and how do you use even a negative energy to your advantage?
Well, um, see, I've conditioned myself long enough because this is what happens. You have a muscle memory. You really have like the way you react becomes a memory, like a unconscious habit. So if I feel something, it doesn't take that long in my body. I know how to release it because I do a breathing and I go right into where I feel it in my body and I release it. And I know it doesn't last and then I'm fine. I just know to be consistent and focusing my mind on something.
So basically, the majority of the control, even with energy, start here.
Yeah,
Start with the mind.
it starts with your mind. Your mind is strong.
Okay, okay. So as the external energy that affects our day-to-day activities, will you definitely say that once we are strong mentally, we can overcome some of these things that we face?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, once you realize yourself and what's yours and what's not yours, you learn how to navigate
The energies
the
around us.
energies around us. Yeah.
Okay. So, for example, like the example you gave, somebody's having a bad day, a friend, they were angry at you and they react, they insult you, they say things or maybe bad things to you. In your mind, you could definitely separate the person from their reaction
Right.
because at that point, their energy is not the best. It's
Correct.
toxic. They're being mean.
Right.
So you should be able to say, okay, now this is not my friend. Her energy is off a little bit,
Right.
and it's temporary, according to what you said.
Yes.
So in that term, knowing or you being able to perceive that, okay, this is the energy this person is feeling right now, but it's just temporary. This is not the definition of my friend.
Right.
This will pass away. So how do you, in that particular state, or in other words, how do you become aware of these situation in order to be able to say help your friend come out of it?
Well, I'm
Do you
pretty
understand what I'm saying?
sensitive. Well, I'm pretty sensitive from, I think my meditation pretty much gets me pretty sensitive to externally, internally. And I can read when my friend's having a bad day, I can say, okay, now I know it's from this situation. This is why you're acting this way. Or, oh, you have an unhealed thing. That is something that you've conditioned your mind and to react that way. It's a coping mechanism. And I tend to read that
Okay.
from people.
And what you just said made me remember something. Awareness. Awareness. A lot of times, the more aware you are to something, some people even connect awareness to consciousness. This does this to me, and this is how I separate myself to. You are also aware in this situation that your friend is going through something. So somebody is insulting you, but then you don't choose to insult them back
Correct.
because of what? Awareness. How do we get everybody to be aware of these energies that is around us?
Well, first you must become aware of yourself. That's the best way. You have to know and how to navigate yourself so you can control any reaction that you may have to external stimulus. Because if you can see clearly, that's where you have to be able to keep calm to see clearly. That's what it is. You can't let it bring you, like, don't go to their level. That's what they say. Don't go
Ooh,
to their
yeah,
level.
yeah.
Basically, if you stay in your calm and you, sometimes it can bring them down. Sometimes it may not bring them down, but you can still see clearly what's happening. And then
Okay.
you wait and let them,
Okay, but you have to stay calm.
yeah.
You don't have to react. It's,
Correct.
I keep hearing a lot of, especially with the spiritual science world, I hear a lot of negativity with reaction. Is reaction always a bad thing?
Not
You know,
necessarily.
people say respond is better than reaction. Because
Correct.
when you react, you make mistakes.
Right.
But when you
Right.
sit down and you reflect and you respond, that's what people like to put it.
Yeah.
And so between respond and reaction, can you touch on that for us?
Well, if I were to respond, so if you had said something that maybe I did feel some kind of way because you mean something to me, I do care about your opinion. I would take a second before reacting and take a second and breathe and listen and then respond instead of just it's taking a step back
Okay.
and waiting and
Okay.
breathing to respond.
To
That's
whatever
how
is
I
being
would
is
apply it.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now let me go back to my favorite thing, yin and yang. I know especially in the martial art world, they tend to connect a lot of Asian philosophies. Yin and yang. A lot of people hear that and they don't understand what it means in terms of energy wise. I mean, how would you interpret that, especially and not just through the martial art aspect, but also in our day to day? Because we always hear these
The
things.
balance.
Yeah.
So yin and yang is basically opposing forces, but you have so within the good there's bad and within the bad there's good. That's why they have the dark circle in the white and the light white circle in the dark,
Yeah.
because you have to embody both. So like in the martial arts, I have to know how to fight. So I have to know how to be destructive, but the part of learning to control myself and to stay calm and to only use it when it's needed would be the positive aspect, the opposite aspect. I'm gonna
In terms of fighting?
right in terms of fighting, like
When to fight and when
when
not
to
to
fight and when not to fight. But then in the spiritual side, you do have positive, like everybody thinks of joy and love. That's all positive because it increases your energy levels. So basically, opposing energy levels when you have more energy or less energy is
Okay.
kind of how I like to
Okay.
prefer to define that, because
So it's
you
not
can-
necessary. You are still avoiding putting the bad and the good to it. So it's just energy. It has
it's
nothing to do with
energy.
it has good
You're
energy
either
or bad.
up or down, but it's still opposing. You still have an opposing force, and then you need to know one to know the other. So whether it's
Good.
good or bad,
See, she's
you
st-
still
still
have
running
to
away
know.
from the good and the bad.
You still
It's
have
just
to
energy.
know. You still have to be able to define it. It's all about the definition
Of whether it's
of
good
whether.
or bad.
Right. But then that would be based on perception.
Perception.
Again.
Once again, perception. So you see,
Because I could look at a cloudy day and go, instead of looking at the lack part, and I may have had plans to go do something outside. Well, that just means I can do something inside and be productive inside the house, or maybe I need a rest day.
wow.
Instead of looking at it as, oh darn it, now I can't do this and I can't. So instead of looking at the can'ts or the lack of, now you still look at the good stuff that you can do. What can you do
Okay.
with that? So
with every situation, whether you want to define it as good or bad, you still have to look at what can I do
what can I
in
do
this
in
situation.
this situation?
I mean, once again, I bring you to that good and bad, the yin and yang, for a reason. Because we have good and evil, especially religion. And since we are talking about spirituality, does good and bad in terms of spirituality has anything to do with our perception. Do we, let's say, for example, um, when you are poor, you ain't got no money. Once again, I'm talking about money. You ain't got no money. It's never a good thing to be broke. So in that situation, we'll say things are not going well. I ain't got no money. But then it's also a perception. Is not having money ever going to be good? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
I know it's this one is more like physical. So I want it to be very practical. That fine. Sometimes the way you carry yourself, the way you present yourself when you don't have money,
Right.
it affects your energy. It
Right,
affects
because it's
your
the way you're viewing what you have instead of saying, "Well, at least I have a roof over my head. At least I have some warmth." You know, you look for the things to be grateful for. What do you have? Not focusing on what you don't have, because you can always find a solution to make the money if it's money related.
okay.
But that goes with anything. Like, you can always find a way to start your goal or initiate something. And so with good and evil
Yes.
spiritually has to do that's more intentional, because okay, so this is where the spiritual part.
Please bring it up. Bring it up. You're the teacher here, okay?
Okay.
Bring it up. Make it more practical. Bring it up.
So there's people with impure and bad intentions, and then there's people with good intentions, people that want to help you, people that love you and support you, and then people that are all selfish. So you have to discern the difference when it comes to people, and you have to be the one to make the change and to be the one to help people and serve people and teach people. But yes, there's going to be good and bad, but if there wasn't those bad people, you wouldn't see that. Oh,
You won't appreciate the good.
yeah, you wouldn't be able to appreciate that good. And there's always going to be that, because there's always the opposing forces no matter what.
Okay. Okay.
For
Well, you've kept it simple. I like that. That is my favorite thing we've talked about the entire conversation. And once again, I say that to say because of my background in religion. And a lot of times, right, when things don't go well, when you're having what we said, that bad day, when it feels like there's a negative energy here, we always blame the devil. Sometimes I feel like the devil has nothing to do with this. You're just having a bad day. So would you say we should stop blaming the devil for
yes, we should take accountability and stop blaming outside sources for the way we feel. Yeah, if someone is rude to us, we don't appreciate that, but it's understanding that that's them, that's not you, or maybe if you feel guilt for something you've done, oh, I shouldn't have done that. You just learn from it instead of saying that someone else made you do it. Well, no, you chose. Everybody has a choice to do good or bad, and then you have to make mistakes to learn.
Oof,
That's how you grow. So everybody makes mistakes. We're human.
Yes, so we should stop blaming the devil for some of these things, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
All right, we should stop blaming. Sometimes the devil don't. This funny thing, right? Sometimes the devil don't have time for some people. I always say that in a joking way that look, your life is not that great that the devil will have time to come bother you. You are your own problems. Your choices got to where you are now, and you're trying to blame the devil for something the devil has nothing to do with.
Correct.
You made the wrong choice, you learn from it, right? So those are, that's where I sit currently, especially with my beliefs and my practices in life. I believe that man is the problem, and man is also the solution.
Correct.
Today, maybe my friend could be my savior. Well, because I was in trouble and they helped me out. Yay. Another day, my friend will be cursing me out. That time, the same friend becomes the devil. The same friend becomes God at the same time. So it comes down to the perception once again. How do you understand what is happening to you and what can you learn from it? So a lot of times, once again, we are heading towards the Halloween season, right?
Mhm.
You know, yeah, if you watch this video, we're heading towards Halloween season. And even in the holidays of Halloween, we have what? Evil spirits and evil. I mean, like,
Yeah.
what is your take on that?
My take on that
There's
is
just some evil thing coming to
no.
bite our head off.
So we have, okay, so when humans die, this is what, and I've experienced some hauntings, if you want to
Really?
call it that.
They
Yes.
actually do. Is this some spirits will come and
Should
is it
I?
evil though, or is it a good spirit?
They're human spirits, so they're not evil. They're just people that are either in a good mood or bad mood, and
The
they're
dead,
around.
but they're
They're
dead.
the human soul. Yes, they're unalive. They're dead.
So the dead are still,
They still wander, like souls
okay,
wander.
okay.
There's some that move on, but there's souls that get stuck. So that
Hmm.
is a thing. So there are people, just like humans, that have good intentions and bad intentions.
So they are
It's the
spirits.
same. They do that in the spirit, just as they
Hmm.
do. They might realize some things in the spirit form because now they don't have a limited perception, because the body is what makes us limited, when the
Okay.
soul energy is not limited to knowledge. And
Once again, I threw in the Halloween holiday just to say that anytime I remember the first few years that in this country we never celebrate Halloween, because guess what? We're Christians, and therefore you hear the word Halloween, you need to run away to the opposite side. But then you are saying that there's actually forces, there's entities,
yeah,
there's ghosts,
yeah,
there's
there's a form
spirits.
of energy, and they do still
They
wander
still
in this
wonder, is
ether.
it
They do.
energy or is just spirits?
Spirit is an energy.
Spirit is an energy.
Spirit is an energy.
All right, just like the
The
science.
spirit is a light body.
Okay.
That's what it is. And I can't remember exactly the sources I was reading, but I have various different DNA books and medical books and science. So, but they had found photon energy in our cells. There is light energy in our cells. That's like our spirit body, but scientists don't want to say for certain that this is the soul. This is the
Wow.
soul energy, right?
Wow.
But yeah, the soul is a light, and it wanders in the ether.
So, in other words, the energy which we can
The
connect it to
energy.
the soul cannot be created or destroyed. There's a law in science that energy cannot be created or destroyed, but can be
It can be
transformed from one
transformed.
state to the other.
Yeah.
So this same soul and energy that makes us alive, makes us who we are, brings our consciousness into existence, is the same energy that is left behind when they leave the body, is what these Halloween holidays celebrate.
Well, originally Halloween, it was the pagan holiday.
Of course.
That was for the change of the season. Really was all that was.
It was just a change of the season.
Yeah, and then everybody has marketed it and made it into a
Into some
holiday.
evil holiday.
Yeah.
So it's not evil
Well,
at all.
and because they talk about the veil getting thinner.
What veil?
There is no veil. There is, layers like this ether and
So what's up with the pumpkin?
the pumpkin.
It's pumpkin. Oh, the pumpkin could be the harvest then, like
Yeah,
season, right?
yeah, harvest.
Because
Because that's when after the crops and all that, you have to harvest everything, pull it all in, and
so,
that
wow. What really I want people to take out of this is, yes, there are energy. Sometimes we feel sad. Sometimes we feel pain, especially pain. Pain. Nobody likes pain. But once again, once we have the consciousness, the perception to know even the benefits of pain, because you have to go through pain in order to get something.
Mhm.
Sometimes, especially a workout, you know,
Yeah.
you work out, you go through the pain, and at the end of the day, you be like, okay, I'm feeling good. You know, your body, if you're working to tone your body will get toned. You get something out of the pain. The same thing applies to, fine, today there's rain, the weather's dark, like the example that you stated.
Mhm.
What can I do in this situation? So, understanding what you're going through or understanding the current energy
Yes.
and knowing what it is helps you be able to overcome it and help you still remain in your balanced state, and it
Correct.
doesn't affect you that much,
Correct.
or it doesn't negatively
Right.
affect you.
Right.
So at the end of the day, everybody will like that. We all go through this, we all go through this knowledge so that we will be able to make our life a little bit better. I believe that's the whole point of this. We have to be able to get better handling these energies around us.
Correct.
So my thing is that, fine, on the surface level, which everything begins from within, that is where the meditation comes in. Is that what you're gonna say?
Yes, that is where
So
the meditation
you have
comes
to,
in.
how often do you have to meditate in order to be in tune with yourself and also with the energies around you? What would you
Well,
be
you
your
learn
recommendation?
again. This is where the conditioning and wiring yourself comes into play. You can be in a meditative state once you learn. But I meditated every day when I was in the martial arts.
Mhm.
I wanted to learn everything, and we did in Taekwondo. They made us sit and do a quick clear your head meditation. Then we train. Then we end it with clear your head meditation. I
Clear
didn't
your head.
understand that, but they didn't explain it. They just made us sit quiet for a minute. It
Mm.
wasn't very long. So I, being a curious kid, wanted to learn, oh, what does that mean? And then I learned, okay, you got to be able to focus on one thing because your mind goes to multiple things. Okay, let me focus on breath. Let me focus on my body. Let me focus on, one thing. And I even tried the candle, because you can stare at a fire, and your mind doesn't wander. It'll focus on the fire. So a candle flame helped too with focus. But once you learn how to
Really?
focus,
Candle frame.
you learn how to control. Yeah, you learn how to control your focus.
Oh, focus. It makes
Yeah,
you focus.
that was my initial way to learn meditation, was learning what to focus on, because really all that is learning to focus on one thing at a time. So if you can control yourself to focus on one thing,
Wow.
that's how that ends up being, and it helps for work. Like, it's helped me, like, I will work until something is done because I know how to focus and I don't get distracted. So, like, that can be applied in other ways in your life.
Through the meditation.
Yeah.
Where will you put nature walk and all of that?
Nature walks are very calming because nature in itself, the actual electrons in the air, keep our physical body grounded. So between the air that we're breathing, which helps with like our serotonin, makes us feel good, gives us oxygen. It changes our mood and the energy around us. You can feel it. It's just very calming.
Throw
That's
in
the
exercise.
literally,
What you
yeah.
got with exercise?
Exercise. That's where,
Sweat.
well, sweat's good to detox you, but
Okay.
yeah, exercise is good because your heart rate's going, so now your blood is flowing, and again, when the heart pumps, it pumps out oxygen throughout your body.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Wow. This is amazing. I mean, we've kept it simple and we've kept it straightforward. My thing is that this is gonna probably be my last question. Then we can wrap it up. What would you like people to take from this conversation that we had?
That you can always maintain your energy and find your balance when you learn how to focus, and when you learn about how to control yourself. You can learn
You do
how to
that.
sense other
Okay.
energies.
not just the
And
energy
discernment.
internally, but also the energy around us.
Yeah.
Knowing yourself will
Yep. To
help
know
you.
yourself will help you know others and to help you know the other energies that are around.
So we shouldn't be afraid of Halloween.
No.
Anyways, well, I'm very, very grateful. Thank you for coming to share this wonderful knowledge with us. Um, Personally, this is one of the things, the topics that I enjoy a lot, energies, because we are under the impression that there's a good energy and there's a bad energy,
Right.
and there's a positive energy and there is this negative energy. But I always say that it's just energy.
Yeah.
You know, some people will like to throw
It
well
can be a neutral thing, and really it's your perception of that.
of it.
Because it's what humans have defined this particular thing as good or bad. It's the
Okay,
definitions that we put on it
okay.
to make it.
Wow, wow. There's a saying that I usually like to say, but it's so hard for me to present it because it's not pretty. It's not pretty at all. Like the universal laws to energy, it's not moral and it's not ethical. It's just energy. The same energy that surrounds us, like electricity. Let me use electricity as an example. When a baby touches electricity, what happened? It will shock him. It will shock him and it could die.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't care if it's a baby or an
Correct.
adult.
Right.
It would work because it's an energy and it's supposed to do certain things.
It can create or destroy.
It can,
Because if you use a defibrillator, you can bring someone back to life, and that's an electrical shock to the heart.
yes.
But at the same time, too much energy
Ooh, zap somebody, the person is dead.
Yep.
So, so in some terms, right, there is no good and there is no bad energy.
Right. Energy is energy. It's just
Energy-
in the way that it may be applied if you're creating something or destroying something.
So once again, this is what I want to leave. Like I said, what would you like to give to the audience? You keeping it simple? Well, my audience, this is what I want to say. Based on what she have said, the letter that I took from it, I'm saying that understanding your stand in the universe or in the universal laws, understanding your energy, and some people will say your vibration, your frequency, all of that, they throw that in. Understanding that will determine whether something could be good or bad. And once again, I'm doing everything I can not to put God and the devil into this. But somebody could be your God, and the same person could be your devil. So what I want to share with everybody and what I took from this is that there are no good and there are no bad energy. It's all about how you internalize this energy and how to use it in making your word, your word, a little bit better. Wow, that's
Yes,
great.
That's perfect.
Lady Janelle, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And once again, to our audience, if you like this conversation, if you like this topic, please comment, like, and share your opinion. Like I said, it's a spiritual science platform. It's not the most popular platform, but it's designed for specific audience. If you don't like it, fine. Please still comment. I don't like it. Maybe you guys should do it this way. If you love what you heard on this podcast, you can like it and share it why you love it. If you feel like we missed something, it's okay. You can share that too. And maybe that could make our platform a little bit better. But like I said, this knowledge is not for everybody, right? It's not. It's for a certain amount of people that can connect and understand that there are no good and bad energy in terms of the universal forces that governs this world. If you understand what the energy actually stands for, you will be able to internalize it and use it for your own good.
Correct. The conscious energy is what directs the good or bad intentions.
Thank you. The conscious
Yes,
energy.
The conscious energy.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much to anybody that listened. Once again, comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you.